guys, welcome back to the update on what's happening with the Studie baker. Continued to strip some of this back, and I haven't taken all the paint off so far. I'm waiting until I get closer to giving it an undercoat, but you can see some of it's taken back to metal. At the moment, I'm really just trying to get the yellow off. The yellow is harder to get off. There's a blue layer of blue that's coming off fairly easy, and then the primer undercoat underneath that. So the engine has gone. There's the engine stand over there. The engine's gone. It's had a crack test. It's come back all clear, which is great. I was a bit concerned having a broken crank. There's the broken crank down there, still lying in shame. It hasn't been moved. So yeah, was a little bit worried about having some problem with the engine block. The block is okay. So we've got a new crank, and that will be going in, being put back together with new bearings and stuff. I'm still yet to decide on what camshaft I'll be using. The one that came out of it looks like it's a little bit hotter, so I might just get that looked at and put that back in. But all's going well. So with the body, I've taken off a little bit. I've taken off this front assembly here, and just cleaning that up a little bit better. It's easier to do that off the car. So yeah, that front bit goes just behind the bumper support. Bumper support is quite interesting, actually. You can see it's actually designed to have a little tiny bit of give. So I guess for a car of 1960, I don't know how common that was, but that was pretty cool to see. So what else is happening? Yeah, look, I'm just working towards getting the paint back. Most of the roof has been, or a lot of it has been taken. The yellow has been taken off. Interestingly, few places like this where you can see some Bondo of some sort has been put in here, and also here, but especially here. This was the worst place that had peeled. And what I was finding really interesting is that the rest of the yellow paint is actually it's quite hard to come off. It's a fairly good coat. I don't know how well you can see it, but if you have a look on the door, it's still got plenty of shine, and most of it hasn't peeled or cracked. And what I've discovered is the main places where there was peeling, and this was the worst up here, is right where there's been some Bondo. So I don't know how it works. I would think perhaps whatever Bondo kind of stuff they used, perhaps it should have been sealed before putting the top coat. But in a number of places where there was some significant peeling and cracking, there's another place over here. I haven't taken it back properly, but this was also peeling quite badly here, and there was again a layer of some Bondo under there. So that's an interesting thing for me, because the overall I was expecting most of this to just sort of fall off, but it's actually it's been quite hard to take back. When I say hard, I mean it's stuck well. So the main problems are where there's been Bondo. This was another area here. So I'm gonna have to take all that out, take it back to metal, and then be more cautious with putting the coats that I put on. So yeah, that's pretty much what's happening at the moment. We'll be picking up on in the next couple of days, picking up all the parts that need to go to put the engine back. The gearbox is here. I took it apart to check the main shift gear in there, and that's the teeth are a bit chipped. So I'm probably going to get that just not fully rebuilt, but I'll get at least a new gear in that, I would say. So other than that, all's going pretty well. So I decided to have a go using some paint stripper. And this is the fin off the back of the car, and one and a half sort of decent coats of stripper. Took that back pretty easily. The little bit that's on there, it will have to be sanded with some 80, I guess, just before it gets a coat of epoxy primer. So that was pretty easy. So I'm going to continue to do some of it by sanding, and some of it will be done with this. So over here I have the bonnet, and the bonnet's just been given a coat 10 minutes ago. That's peeling it pretty well. You can see here it's down to the blue. The yellow's just peeled straight off without touching it. So I'll show you when it's clean. Yeah, so the fin was very much an afterthought, and the fin sat on the rear quarter, and this is right here is where the front of the fin would sit. And because of that, that's where water would get underneath. As I said, it has on this side as well, in the same spot, but it's certainly worse on this side. So water would sit underneath and would rust out. So this strengthens my idea that what I want to do is I'm going to put a patch in, fix that up, and then I will probably mount the fin on. I wouldn't mind welding it on. I might use something like Sikaflex, but I really want to sort of seal it on and make it nice and clean. So yeah, back over to the car. This front quarter is basically done. I've still got to do around the front. The doors, I still haven't decided if I want to take them off and get them sandblasted. I'm thinking about getting them sandblasted, but I might end up just doing the stripper that I've been using. It's been working pretty well. There's going to be a little bit happening at the bottom of the door here. I don't know how much. And yeah, I'm going to try and fix up the way some of the panels sit at the same time. So I'm hoping at the moment that it won't be very long. Again, the trunk looks pretty good. The trunk, you can see the line is out a little tiny bit. As we look up there, goes in a bit. So this whole trunk needs to just pull the bottom corner over here a little bit, and that'll fix up this side as well. So the trunk looks pretty good. I haven't started to strip it. That'll be the next thing. And then getting it ready for prime. Also, down here, I haven't got to this door, but again, you can see at the bottom, there's quite a bit of bond in the bottom. I don't know exactly what's happening. It feels okay underneath the door, but it's been padded out quite a bit, maybe too much. So there may be a bit of work happening on here as well. Anyway, also as far as the engine goes, the engine, haven't got it back. The engine is being honed, and hopefully I'll get it back after that. They've checked the tunnels, and all's good with it. So the block will be back probably in the next week or so, and then it'll be time to start assembling the bottom end. So anyway, take it easy. Incidentally, I just want to say, despite the fact that there was a little bit of rust, this is this place up here I was talking about where the fin, you can see I've taken the edge off there. So the fin sits up here, and right here, this is where all the rust was here. So water is getting in here and getting under the fin, and then this was the part here that was a problem. But it was good to see underneath, everything's pretty clean. There's no problems on the inside. All up here, everything's in pretty good nick. There's just a couple of places primarily related to where the fin is. Down the bottom here, that's all good. There's nothing wrong. This is just the deadener, I suppose. This is where there was, between the panel, this piece of strapping was sitting up in here. And yeah, that's not actually really rust, it's just a bit of the glue. Same as up here. So yeah, what I'm thinking of doing is perhaps marrying this and filling in all of this and getting rid of the join where there was a problem in between, sealing that all up, having it as a nice smooth piece, and putting some Bondo over and just painting it as a nice even piece, rather than having these joins in the panels here. Up here, there's kind of a panel. There was a small strip in between, and then the outside panel. So there's sort of 3 or 4 panels all joining at the one spot, and then with the fin on top. So it was a messy area all along here. I didn't really like it. I want to try and smooth it up, make it look nice and clean, and also they'll protect it from more rust. So yeah, almost at the time of getting ready to put a primer on. Again, you can see here what I was saying before about the bit of rust underneath where all the Bondo has been. So before this gets the primer, this is all going to be hit again with like an 80 grit just to freshen it up. This Bondo has to come out, and then it'll all be ready for a prime. And then after that, I'm going to go over and of course fill out these little imperfections. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll keep you updated. Cheers.